So, we're back again with the shenanigans. It's actually Tuesday. I meant to open the camera yesterday and give you guys this update on how it was going, but at first I missed a trade, and then the second trade was not according to my rules. Sent it out to the community, and someone in there, big up yourself if you're watching Sian, he pointed out that it wasn't, well, I pointed out that it wasn't a trade that aligned with my strategy or the things that I look for, and he reminded me that if I won that trade, it would only be reinforcing a negative action. I need to be disciplined. And if this trade was a win, then the chances of me being disciplined in the future is less likely. So let me just jump on the charts real quick. It's currently 10:28 in the AM, the time when I'd be looking for a trade. But just for right now, I'm trying my best to be disciplined. But here on the hourly chart, yesterday we actually had a perfect trade, a sell. The entry was at 10 a.m. We had this liquidity sweep at 9 a.m., which took the Sunday's highs as well as the London highs for Monday itself. And we filled this fair value gap here to the left that was formed on Thursday, the 6th of November. Here's the thing though. It looks like I actually caught this trade when we jump down to the 15-minute. Yeah, you can see it looks like I actually caught this trade, but this was just the marking of the trade parameters. I actually missed this trade. So it would have been a real quick one, real quick TP. And because of the fact that I missed this trade, when I came to the charts, we were like somewhere down here, and I wanted to see us close above this small gap right there. When we did close above that gap, I still didn't enter the trade until we got all the way up here. I entered the trade for a buy and held the trade overnight. This morning in the community, I sent the screenshot. I let them know that I'm in this trade. We spoke about a few persons that caught the sell yesterday, and then I was saying that I'm in the buy because somebody else was also looking to be bullish on US 30. So I was like, hey, I'm still in a buy, even though I didn't call this one out because it's not a trade that fits my confirmations. Sian reminded me that if this trade won, then I would be more likely to do something like this in the future, to break my rules, to not be disciplined. And I really thought about it. And the best course of action to me was to close the trade. And I only did that because I didn't want any positive result associated with me doing something wrong, which is not following my trades. The reality is, as we can see here, the price just would have hit take profit like half an hour ago, sorry. I'd be in profit. And there's something else as well. For this trade, I had 3 positions at the entry. So not only was it not along my system or following my system, but I also over leveraged to some extent. The amount I was risking, as in pip, was far less, and the total position size was far more than what I would usually risk. I would not usually do this, and I did it so that I could go back to where the account was. Because as you know, I deposited $66, I went up to 78, and then I had a string of losses bringing me back down to $50-something. And yesterday I actually placed 2 positions selling, but after the entry. So instead of catching this 210 pip move, I was up a good amount, but like I said, I was away from the charts. When I came back, I was down. So that's also a reason why I didn't open any trades when we were right here. I was kind of hoping that we come back down, but then price just came up, hit my stop loss, which was a larger loss than what I would usually take. So yesterday the sell was against my rules, as well as this buy that brought back the account to some extent was against my rules. The thing that I did to ensure that this wouldn't repeat is, once I acknowledged that this is wrong and I would be reinforcing a negative action, I closed the trade early. And to me, that is like something bad, right? 1, because I am in profit. 2, because I don't close my trades early. That's something I just don't do. Close trades early, bring stop loss to break even, take partials. That's just something I don't do. To each his own. I'm not, knocking anybody who's do that, but it's just something I don't do. And it made me feel like crap because I held this trade throughout the night. I was in profit, and hitting this take profit would take me above what I initially deposited, which means I would be out to drawdown. So there's a lot of reasons as to why holding this trade wouldn't make me feel good. But the fact that I closed it early will make me more disciplined in the future, because I'll be able to reflect on this situation or at this trade and be like, okay, I was up, but it was not in my confirmation. I don't want to be up or down in a trade again that's not against my confirmation because I'll have to close it early. I could be missing out on a potential win. I could be missing out on a potential lesson that could help me avoid it from happening again, but I'm breaking my rules and I don't want to break my rules. So that's why I needed some type of negative reinforcement for this negative action rather than I broke my rules and then I got TP. It brought me out to drawdown. I'm now above where I deposited. All these other positive things that happened from me breaking my rules. The likeliness of me breaking it in the future is going to be high. So I know it was a little bit confusing on how we got here, but I just wanted to bring it as fresh as possible without even getting a chance to gather my thoughts and present it properly. Everything here is this morning, maybe an hour, 2 hours ago. So I closed this trade actually when price was like here. So it was halfway to the take profit, and I really and truly could have brought the account out of drawdown than it is right now, but there must have some type of negative. I don't feel good about closing it early because obviously we're beyond the take profit and I could have been even more up. But if this trade was a trade along my rules, along my confirmations, or the strategy that I use, the system that I use to find trades, then fine. I would be up or possibly could even be holding it still, or I'd be out of the trade with 210 pips. I like my system because it took a while to get there and it's very simple. It doesn't cause me to feel anxious. It avoids all the extra hard things about trading that make it hard. So me breaking my rules is just me stepping back into that difficult era or that difficult part of trading. It's like when I was now trying to refine my system, I'm doing that again when I break my rules. It's like I'm trying to now sit through the unexpected, sit through the undocumented and the data that is not analyzed rather than sit through something that I'm more familiar with, the data that I forward tested, back tested, analyzed, studied, everything. It just feels easier and better to do once you follow your rules. So I already ramble on for far too long and I didn't mean to do that. But I really think it's important for me to express how crucial it is that we remain disciplined. By any means, if you have to punish yourself by doing something bad after you break your rules, then do it. Do not reward yourself for breaking your rules. Like, please, it is so important that we do not reward ourselves for breaking our rules because the brain and just the next time the opportunity arises, you're going to do it. If there's a punishment, something negative associated with you breaking your rules, you will not do it. Hey, it's 10:37. I still haven't found a trade for today. The trade that I closed this morning is yesterday's trade. I'll provide like a little breakdown of the account stats from Trader Waves a little bit later in the video. But for right now, I don't have any trades. So I'm going to come back and check in with you once the opportunity arises. If not, then I'll just be providing that trade breakdown as to where we were and where we are today. So, we're back. It is actually Thursday. It's Thursday? Yeah, it's Thursday. I ain't opened back up the camera since I last opened it and showed you guys that trade that I shouldn't be taking. I closed that trade early, and me closing that trade early was supposed to be like punishment. And boy, oh boy, did it do its job. Trust me. Bro, this was the trade that I closed early. This one right here. Let me extend the chart a little bit. Good. I was supposed to hold this trade until we got here to take profit. We didn't actually get to take profit. I closed this trade about like here, to be honest, like there. And then I saw the price shot up within the next. So I was like, all right, cool. That's enough. Like, I feel messed up to know that if this trade was a trade that I followed my rules, I would have hold it and I would have get full TP. What feel even more messed up though is when we zoom out. This price moved from just TP to all this way, bro. All this way. And this just from Tuesday morning all that way straight through Wednesday. And now we're here on Thursday. I ain't placed any trades yesterday because, to be honest, I was kind of like, I still wasn't feeling too proud of myself for breaking my rules. So I could say I wasn't in the best headspace. And seeing that I missed a trade like that I could at least left a runner on because I actually had 3 positions for this trade. Anyhow, it has happened, and I kind of glad that it happened this way, so I ain't gonna break my rules again. Anyways, I don't have a trade right now, but I'm looking at this chart. I'm actually monitoring the chart on here. So we could see the Dow, US 30, and I also have the S&P and NAS just cycling through on this one side. As long as I find a trade, I'm going to come back and give you an update on Dow. But for right now, this is how it's looking. A little bit change in the setup, but hey, sometimes you got to try new things, you know? We fudge getting out of me jersey neck, but hey, we back. It is Friday, the end of the week, and if I can explain to you how the Ras happened this week, I would be lying because I don't know what happened on the charts. I just showed up, bro. But take a look at this. So, the last time we talked, I think, yeah, I showed y'all this trade where we closed it a little bit early. Let me use this pointer. Guys, right, we closed it a little bit early around here. So, ain't fighting none, ain't fighting none. Then, let me just, price just keep going like one day after the other. Up, then we reach till the top here and start falling. The fall happened yesterday on Thursday. All this time we had no confirmations until we got to here. And if you look at the bottom there, it said, wait, right here on the 12 p.m. candle, right there. When we look at this trade right here and this one over here, I just really wanted to touch on these two trades. Even though I didn't take this trade right here, I studied the market, I showed up, I remained disciplined because it was outside of my rules. But I was able to identify some way how I could be able to participate in these market conditions. Because the thing is, it's not normal to like how the market has been moving. Like we could tell that this right here is completely different in all of this. Like, yeah, we have up and down movement, but nothing as, you know, smooth, just smooth all the way up and smooth all the way down. So I thought, okay, we're overbought. That was my assumption. And yesterday we had bearish price action. We closed below this low right here, which was a low that I was looking at, and yesterday's midnight open, as well as the low for yesterday. So we closed below that low very impulsively at 10 a.m. At 11, I didn't actually find any reason as to go in for any trades, but I noticed that there was another fair value gap to the left here, farmed on Tuesday, right there. So when price got down to it and closed in that gap, I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna take the low for the 12 p.m. candle. I took that break and I aimed for the same 210 pips. Don't want to be greedy, don't want to, you know, stray too far away from my strategy. It still is essentially the same thing, just not at points of liquidity. They are points of fair value gaps, imbalances, whatever you want to call it. So on yesterday's trade, I could have held it for a little bit longer, but like this one right over here, if you remember, I closed it earlier because it was not 100% according to my strategy. But I was still able to capitalize from the market regardless. Now, coming to today, we had a trade that is actually according to my strategy. So we had a liquidity sweep right there, and we're on the hourly. So we had the liquidity sweep of this low right here farmed on Monday, and we didn't close below that low. We had a bullish close back up, right? So we had a bullish close back up inside that zone above that low, and we almost had a 50% retracement. But let me just extend the chart. As you can see there, we didn't quite touch that entry, like right there. Anywho, this just means that we don't actually have a trade for today, and today's Friday. The market is shooting in its own direction right now. And I don't want to enter just willy-nilly because I've been profiting in the past 2 days after the charts. But I think I'm going to go on the computer now and we can just have a breakdown of the stats from Trader Waves. So we can get to see the monthly performance, weekly performance, and just the overall performance of the account. Now that I've been trying to be a bit more disciplined, following the rules, and keeping the risk constant. So this is how it looks here in the dashboard of Trader Waves for the period the 14th for the past month. It's November the 14th as of today. I haven't placed any trades, and we can see last week's performance. I took two trades, or I placed trades on 2 days in the week and ended with negative 26.86%. And for this week, I've actually placed trades on 3 of the 5 days: Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And thus far, we're actually up 30.12%. So the balance was smaller, so that's why it's 30.6. But we only gained $16. So far for the month, I'm down $4. Yeah, where is it? 4.83%, down $3.67 for the month. But compared to the amount that we deposited, then net profit we're net profitable at $6.26. That's a 9.51% gain. But the balance here, the equity curve is shown, started with 60, lost $6, ended at 60, made a couple, lost a lot more. Balance was all the way down to $37 at its lowest point. And yeah, now we're back up to $72, so the balance is there. And yeah, I just think it's really neat to be able to see all of the data displayed here, even if it's like an estimate or an average for some of the values. It still is nice to be able to track your data and learn from it. The win rate could be better, but this also brought me to the second reason as to why I thought it would be good to open the camera and discuss some stuff on Trading Waves, which would be the leaderboard. And in my last video, I was actually mentioning that most of the persons who make good monthly returns consistently have below average win rate, or a win rate more closer to 50% than it is to 100%. And this leaderboard, for the persons that have their accounts connected to Trader Waves, kind of validates that point. So when we click it to monthly and we change it to the percentage gain, we can also look at the currency. But the thing about the currency is that if you have, let's say, $100,000 or $1 million in your live account, by the way, this is all live accounts, then making 1% would be an entire thousand, or making 10% would be 10K. And someone else using a $1,000 account or a 10K account and making 2K or 4K would be making a larger percentage gain than you, which in a sense we're here to make money, but I like to focus on the percent, because then all you need to do is scale your capital to be able to make more money. You don't need to risk more of your balance in order to make funds, which would be the sensible thing to do. But when we switch it over to the percentage, since that's the metric we want to focus on, we'll see the top three persons on the leaderboard actually all fall closer to 50% than they are to 100%, as in terms of their win rate. But their percentage of their account that they're profiting in that month alone is ridiculous. We have here 2,227%, or 21,700, which means he probably got like a $10 account and made, I don't know, 200 and something or 2,000 something. I don't know what it is, but he still made a very good return on his investment, because he's up by 21,000%. Here's another one with 872% and a 50% win rate. So we have a 40% win rate with the highest percentage gain, then a 56% with number 2, and a 50% with number 3. And as we go down, you'll see a few persons that have a high win rate as well and still have a good portion of gain. But majority of the persons who have a really good gain actually have closer to 50%, like this individual right here that actually has 29.73%. So their win rate is less than 30%. They win about 3 out of 10 trades, but still make enough money at the end of the month. They're up 578%. So it just goes to show that you really don't need a high win rate. Here's another one with 46%. There's another one with 57%. So my aim would be to mainly get as close as possible to a 50% win rate. Right now, 38.9%. Based off of that person's results, I could still make 500% this month, right? That's not what my strategy may allow for, because I actually did the stats, and the most I might be able to get is like 280 a month, 280% gains on my capital. But that's a story for another day. I don't know how they get in 500. I don't know what they're risking, but with my risk parameters and my strategy, my risk to reward, it's 280% max per month. And I don't need to be aiming for 280% per month. If I could get 20 to 30 or 40% per month, it will be more than enough, because then I just need to scale the capital, and my same 30% per month, instead of being $300 or $400 per month, is going to be 3,000 or 4,000 or 30,000 or $40,000 per month with the right account size. So, yeah.
Bye. Have a great time.